Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. Are you living better as a result of your preparedness? That's what I want to talk about today because you should be. I just dropped off. I'm at a cool location today, a location that I really like. Just dropped off my daughter at a church, or actually kind of a church camp. Yeah, a church camp where she's a counselor. And on my way home, I was passing by the location where we have our annual gatherings, right there behind me. I'm on a little island here. It's really, really cool. And I thought, well, and by the way, our next gathering is on October 4th. For those of you who were here with us last year, I look forward to seeing you again. And for those of you who weren't able to make it or have just joined us in the last year, it's going to be on October 4th in the Kansas City area. I'll put out more information on that as we get closer to the date, but save the date, put it on your calendar, and it's going to be on the Kansas side of the Kansas City area, and it'll be a great time, and I look forward to meeting those of you who weren't able to make it last year. And I probably talked to you a lot or read your comments, and you've probably read my books and things like that, so looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time. Well, as I was driving over here, it's just one of those days. Do you ever have those days that you're almost so happy you can't even contain it? I do. I have those days frequently. I really do. And I know some people will say, well, that's I don't know about that because the world is a horrible place and it's going to hell. Well, the world's been going to hell for centuries and millennia, and whether it's a horrible place depends a lot on your situation, right? It is a horrible place for some and not for others, and not in every case, because there are some people who are living a terrible life through no fault of their own. But for the most part, in the Western world here in the United States, or in wherever you probably are, whether you're in Canada, Europe, Australia, wherever, the kind of life you're living, whether it's horrible or not, depends a lot on the decisions you've made. Okay, started out maybe with the decisions your parents, grandparents, and all that made, but it comes right down to it. It depends on the decisions that you have made. Let me take a sip. Grab yourself. I should have told you. Get yourself something to sip while we talk, and hopefully it's out of a Stonemont mug. This is our bison mug, our latest one, and it has the bison on it. It says it's a Stonemont, where life is good, semper paratus, always ready, and you can get these on our website, stonemont.us. By the way, I warned everybody yesterday. I've shut down accepting orders for my books on the website simply because we've just had so many. We can't take any more until we get caught up on the orders that we have. And I'll let you know what you can do it again, but you can get them through Amazon. Okay, links down below. But grab one of these. Why is it, Steve, that you're out there drinking coffee out of a Stonemont mug, and you're out on the road? You're out well, I wouldn't call it the woods, but you're out in a nice place, and you're sitting down, and that's because I'm always prepared, right? I'm always ready, semper paratus. I always have my Stonemont mug with me, and I always have a chair with me. I always have everything. If I ever just wanted to stop by the side of the road and live there for a week or so, I'm ready. I hope you are too. You should be. But let's get back to the subject at hand. And I meant to take a sip there. Let me take a sip. Nothing better. It's kind of a rainy day. It's drizzling. It's sprinkling. It's not really drizzling. It's sprinkling. Another wet day around here. Boy, everything looks green. My garden is going gangbusters. So anyway, see, I'm in such a good mood, which is I pretty much am every day, that I just think about all the good things in life. So are you living a better life as a result of your preparedness? Well, I hope you are. If you're not, let me just talk here for a few minutes and give you some advice or maybe some direction on how maybe you can do that. We prepare, and I've said very often that preppers, if you want to use that term, and I don't like that term, I prefer PMP, a preparedness-minded person, a person who has gone beyond just the stocking stuff and being afraid of, whatever the latest fear is, gone beyond that and made it a part of their life. Just a part of their life, so they're not fretting about it, they're not thinking about it all the time. They have just lived like, past generations did, knowing that winter is coming, hard times are coming, and we'd better prepare so that we're ready for it. Today's world, and this world of being able to run to the store anytime you need anything for anything, people aren't that prepared. And so that's why preparedness, to many, when they finally get to the point that they say, you know what, it's an uncertain world, and I'd better take a little more responsibility for being prepared, in case of hurricane, tornado, the Yellowstone caldera blows, or the collapse of the whole world, like in my books. And so people, when they start that, they have that in mind. They're thinking, oh wow, if everything went down and there wasn't any food in the grocery stores, what should I do? So they start preparing, and they prepare along the lines as they should, if they're smart, if they listen to this or any other good channels. You got to be picky about those, because there's plenty out there that aren't. And they say, can you hear the rain falling on me? Raindrops are falling on my head, but it feels. I wish I was wearing a hat instead of a cap, because there is nothing cozier. And those of you who wear hats know this. There's nothing cooler than hearing the pitter-patter of the rain on your hat brim. See, I just keep going on to happy thoughts. And a rainy day is a happy day if you're ready for it. So those people, they kind of start preparing out of fear and against horrible things that might come. And they should. It's smart. Ooh. See, a large branch just got heavy enough with moisture that it finally got to the point where it spilled some right over there, not on me. And that's good. But I always recommend you need to take preparedness beyond that. And you all know, if you've reached a point to where, even when you reach the point to where you have a month's worth of food, right? Or you have, a little bit of ammo, you got that. You know how much better you feel than when you didn't have that, right? It's like having insurance. If you break your arm and you have insurance, the arm's still broken and it still hurts, but well, okay, I'm ready for this. I'll go, they'll take care of it, and I won't get hit with, a $30,000 bill for a doctor setting my arm and a bunch of x-rays and stuff. The person who doesn't have it lives a little more tenuous life, and they can go along through life, in blissful ignorance until something happens. And then they go, oh wow, I wish I had whatever, right? Well, when you get to the point where you have, you've decided that you're going to prepare, and okay, I've got a month of food, and I've got some bandages, and I've got some warm clothes, and an extra pair of boots, and we're pretty good. You know that you feel better than you did before you had it. And then you start to get the understanding that, how much better would I feel if I had 6 months, right? Or a year. Well, on that road, after a certain point, you need to start looking at making sure that your preparedness not just readies you to be able to weather the storm, down the road for whatever length of time, but you need to start looking at it so that it will improve your life today. Okay? Wow. It's starting to come down. You know what? I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to move under a tree over there that is going to protect me a little bit more, because I'm prepared. Okay, I'll set you off to the side a little bit so you can see that tree behind me. Is that not a cool tree? That is a cool tree. So now I'm sitting here under the shelter of this huge tree, and I'm not getting rained on. There's a lesson there about preparedness, right? This tree is sheltering me. Well, anyway, getting back to this. you get to the point where you should start thinking about your preparedness and your preparedness activities, not just preparing you to, like I said, weather whatever storm that comes, but should improve the quality of your life today. Okay, and you get there when instead of having to run to the store for whatever, you get to run to your pantry or to your food stocks or to your basement or to wherever you keep your stuff. Doesn't matter whether it's a can of corn or whether it's toilet paper, right? Or whether it's some Band-Aids or whatever. It doesn't matter, because you are starting to become your own supplier. You're becoming your own supply depot, as it were, right? And then when you get past that point, you've heard me talk about stocking food and looking for sales and things like that. I'll use this. It's one of my favorite examples. For instance, when Kelly is cooking something, she needs a can of corn. She doesn't go down to the store and buy a can of corn. She goes down to the basement in our house, and she gets a can of corn. And that can of corn is nestled right in there within hundreds of other cans of corn, which are nestled within hundreds of other cans of peas and green beans and carrots and beets and pasta and all sorts of things. Okay, that's our food store. Well, when she gets that, not only is it convenient that she and whatever else she needs for it, it's there. Not only is it convenient, saved her the time of going to the store, saved her the money of buying it, but see, that can of corn she's using cost us 29 cents. How did it do that, Steve? Well, because I bought it years ago. And canned food nowadays, it can last pretty much forever. There are some that don't last as well as others, but for the most part, canned food will last. It'll outlast you. Okay. It might lose a little bit of taste, a little bit of nutrition, not enough to matter. So right there, instead of paying, I don't know what canned corn's running for now. We haven't bought it in years. $1.79, I think, something like that. She's using a 29-cent can of corn. Well, I just made $1.50 on a 30-cent investment, right? Times hundreds. Our preparedness paid off financially. It is one of the greatest. Your food storage is one of the greatest financial investments you will ever make, even if you don't ever use it for a grid down situation. See, I've already made $1.50 on 30 cents investment from, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Whenever places have things on sale, and I've said this before, I don't go down and go, oh wow, I'm gonna get a few extra cans. Heck, when corn's on sale, and I haven't seen it for 29 cents, but about every fall, getting ready for Thanksgiving and stuff, most of the grocery stores around here will have their store brand vegetables on sale for 39 cents. Well, I don't go down and get a couple extra. I get a couple of hundred, right? Why not? Now, in order to do that, you have to have the money, right? You have to have extra money. You can't be living at the edge of your money. And that of course, you have to have it to start with. It's kind of the old, it takes money to make money, but it takes smarts to make money too. It takes responsibility, let me put it that way. And so not only, does it help you financially, but it helps you in your convenience and everything like that. I talked, so be ready. My point was, have the money, be financially responsible, make more money, so that when those sales happen, you don't have to go, wow, I wished I had extra money. you go buy it with your extra money. Okay. What did I say the other day? Oh yeah, Kelly just found eggs for 99 cents a dozen at Sprouts. Bought a bunch. Filled up the refrigerator. I found that you can buy Harry and David coffee, 4 ounces, for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. You know, it used to be Dollar Tree, now it's $1.25 tree. 4 ounces. How does that come? It's great coffee. How does that come out? Well, at 4 ounces, and you know, when you buy those bags of coffee, and I've had some, you know, great coffee, whether it's Blackout coffee or Attack coffee or some of those. It's 12 ounces. You're paying about $15 a bag. So this Harry and David that I found, it's 4 ounces for $1.25. Well, 3 of those bags equals a large bag, which equals $3.75. Okay, $3.75 as opposed to $15. Well, what did I do? I went down and I bought all of them, all they had, all of them. So, you know, that just adds to my coffee stock. I've got coffee for a long time. So anyway, all of those things, when you start thinking about preparedness, not just in a way that, oh my gosh, this is in case something bad happens, you know, like your car insurance, your house insurance. There's no way that you use your car insurance in a good, positive way, right, to improve your life, unless you get in a wreck. Same thing with your homeowner's insurance. Unless your house burns down, you're not going to use it. Well, preparedness is different. It's living insurance. I won't call it life insurance. Well, it can be life insurance if something happens to you, your family's taken care of. But it's living insurance. And it doesn't just help you when everything falls apart. It helps you every day. Okay? And not only with the stuff you may, you know, buy to have on hand, but, you know, if you want to go camping, hey, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of camping stuff. You have it because it's part of your preparedness, right? If you decide to, oh, hang on a second, something's over there I want to see, and I'll be right back. Okay, I thought it was a deer coming out of the trees over there, but we'll see. We'll see. If it was, it went back in. So when you're prepared, it makes you more relaxed, doesn't it? It takes away the worries. It makes you feel more secure, more certain about not just the future but today. And you know, a lot of people just worry themselves to death. And it's those people that get up and they turn on all the fear channels, you know, first thing in the morning, and they get their dopamine fix, and they're all hyped up because they're addicted to this negativity, you know. And that's no way to live, because that'll wear you down. You know, there's an old saying in business that work doesn't kill you, worry does. And my accountant, I asked him, he said something funny I've always remembered years ago. After tax season, I says, man, I bet you are working yourself to death. You getting any sleep? And he said, well, I'd rather work than worry. He says, I make the money when I can. So that's the truth. A good preparedness lifestyle keeps you from worry. Now, I will say this, your basic freedom from worry comes from the good Lord himself. He says, don't worry. Ask him to guide you, do what he says, live a responsible life, and you're going to be fine. So just think about this. And you know, the good Lord has blessed me with a life that I can just sit out here as long as I want to. I could sit here all day if I want to and just take out my other phone and write more on my books. Maybe I'll do that. That's a nice place to write. But I also look up there and I see right up there is where we're going to have our gathering here in a few months. That's going to be nice. So when you turn your life and you turn your preparedness from just preparedness against bad, and you start seeing it as a way to improve your life today, every day, you feel better, you're calm, you have a positive attitude instead of being fearful. You put your faith in God, you know, and then do what you're supposed to do. It changes your life. It really does. It changes your entire life. So think about it that way. Think about it. And share this. You probably have people out there. I'll tell you, one of the biggest battles that I see that I have right now is the battle against all these negative fear porn channels. It doesn't do you any good to be afraid. It doesn't make your preparedness better. As a matter of fact, most of the time I see the people that do it out of fear don't do it very well, like everything else in life, right? So if they're afraid, they're not going to do it well. And if they're watching fear porn, they're going to be afraid. So if you know people that you think, hey, they could do well hearing this message, please share this. Share this. We need more people out there preparing for the right reasons, not out of fear. So share this with them. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed. Hit the bell, make sure that you get a notification every time I put one out, because I put one out about every day. And it is going to be about, how does preparedness make you a better life? Hear that goose? I startled there. I still have a touch of PTSD. I've gotten rid of most of it, but not all of it. That was a frog. I'll tell you a funny story about that sometime. Not today. Anyway, you all have a good day. Make sure that you are preparing for the right reason. Think about how preparedness can not just enable you to be ready for problems, but can improve your life today. Okay. And like we say on this, and here again, start with God Himself. Ask Him to guide you in this, and He'll never guide you wrong. Okay. So get out there and do something, as we say on the back of this mug. Oh, did I tell you? If you want to, I just had a bunch of orders come in for this new mug. This is the newest one, the Bison we call the Stone Mod. Where life is good, Semper Paratus, which means always ready. And on the back, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, as the Bible Axe and Rifles. And Semper Paratus, then down here, Integrative Preparedness, Stone Mont, and on the side, Life the Way It Should Be Lived. You can get these if you'd like your very own, and carry it with you wherever you go. I have people who have sent me pictures of these from the Rocky Mountains or on their vacation. How cool that is. That is so neat. Stonemont.us is where you can get them if you would like. So anyway, as we say, we prepare well today, you read that? In order to live well tomorrow, but also to live better today. Okay? All right. You guys have a great day. I think I'm going to sit here and write some more on book number 8 and enjoy this beautiful day the Lord has given us. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.